When I was working my way through college, I went to Baylor University in Waco, Texas. I was a television news reporter for the CBS affiliate KWTX in Waco, and then I worked as a news anchor at a Channel 11 KTVT in Dallas, and then I was also a radio news guy in Dallas. So that helped. I think it helped me think about my voice. It helped me think about my presentation. Being a television news reporter showed me a lot about myself in terms of watching myself on video that I had not theretofore really given thought to. And so it was interesting to see how God used a confluence of all these things he had me doing to direct me to where he ultimately wanted me to be.
Yeah. What are the things that you learned in your, I guess, multiple layers of broadcast media using your voice and your face and your hands to communicate? What are the sort of things that you've taken away or that have continued to be part of your preaching communication? Essentially, what did you learn, or what fellowship hath the newsroom with the pulpit?
Well, I think there's three things that I would just kind of highlight. One is asking the right questions, because when you're a television news reporter, you usually don't have a great deal of time to interview somebody. So you have to get to the point, and you have to ask the right questions. And I think expositors have to ask the right questions of the text. If we're not asking the right questions, we're not going to get the right answers. I think secondly, being concise, when you're a television news reporter, you have 90 seconds basically to write an entire story and tell a whole story. So sometimes as pastors, if we're not careful, we can chase rabbits and we can bore people. And it's a sin to be boring in the pulpit. And third, I think one of the things that really became a discipline for me with respect to expository preaching was writing out my sermons, because I had to type out my manuscript when I was a television news reporter. And so I developed the discipline of typing out my manuscript. I take 8 to 10 pages of fully typed manuscript with footnotes to the pulpit. Now, I don't necessarily read them, but I've thought through it. I've thought through the transition statements. I've thought through what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it. And of course, the Holy Spirit will lead you, and there's some room for flexibility there and extemporaneous preaching. But at the same time, you've thought through it. And as Roy Fish, my professor of evangelism at Southwestern Seminary, used to say, God can inspire you at your computer just as much as he can in the pulpit. And so I take those three things from broadcast.